People will try and play down Amorim's troubles at United, but when you've got opposition players and managers saying stuff like this, it's never a good look. And to the people saying, well, Fulham didn't actually do anything, did they? Watch my latest video and you'll know exactly how much Iwobi toyed with us all game. If he can do that, imagine what a half-decent player could do.
What did I do?
Even if Amorim can get through this tough spell, playing his way, sticking to his principles, other managers will adapt. So can Amorim then do the same? Can he evolve? The best managers find counters, then counters to the counters, and then counters to those counters of the counters. Where was I? Currently, United are a carbon copy of Amorim's sporting setup. And you can say, well, they won the league playing that way, so why can't United? There's simply no comparison for how much better Prem teams are, how much better Prem managers are at setting up those teams as well. Even teams lower down in the Premier League, they've got a half-decent press, and they'll find out ways to really dismantle your system if you're not one step ahead of the game. Just exactly like Fulham did this weekend. Again, fans will go, well, they still didn't create an awful lot, but that's Fulham. Imagine what a better team could do if we continue to sit in that 5-2-3 mid-block. United stuck with that from the very first minute of the game to the last. And Amorim didn't really seem to have anything up his sleeve in terms of improving things mid-game. Add on to that some very, very questionable subs mid-game. And then you've got one particular cauldron of shite. With Amorim, I expected to see some form of adaptation, especially by now. He hasn't just arrived at United. He's had quite a few months with us now, but it simply hasn't happened. A lot of people were right to question, when he moved from Sporting to United, how would that sporting system translate? Particularly given, obviously, how much more competitive the league is, and also given Amorim's troubles in Europe. A lot of people will point to that Man City game that they won. Yes, great. Man City dominated the first half of that game. Should have been 3-0 up. Other games in Europe, Amorim very, very much struggled with that sporting team. You're looking at it, that centre-back stepping up, that was still there. The 5-2-3 passive mid-block, out of possession, that was all there. He's come to United, adopted those same principles, and lo and behold, they're not working. It's all well and good sticking to your principles, but what if they don't work? All the time, Amorim is compared to the likes of Conte and Tuchel due to the formation that they both used at Chelsea. But even they use different systems when moving to different clubs. Conte won the league with Napoli in a back four. Tuchel won league titles away from Chelsea playing a back four. Those managers didn't move clubs and stick to their rigid principles. They moved to the times, they adapted, and they got the best out of what they had. Again, it isn't even about formation. Pep at City, for example, he's gone through multiple phases. At times with City, he's inverted the fullback into midfield. At times, he used John Stones, had him stepping up in midfield, not inverted the fullback. And then right now, he's even got Klopp's right-hand man by his side, and now he's trying to adapt to different pressing formations. Pep has always tried to move with the times and get the best for his City team. Hell, even Ten Hag adapted early on. He got United third and got us a trophy. The trouble came with Ten Hag when he went back to that bogus 3-1-6 system, when he didn't have anywhere near the midfield profiles for it, and that's what ultimately got him the sack. We know this 5-2-3 mid-block with Amorim really just doesn't work, so why do we keep going back to it? Even in pre-season, we kept reverting back to it, and that was a major alarm bell ringing. We had a decent game against Arsenal, but instead of building on that, it felt like United took 5 steps backwards. And that's why I was so despondent after that game, because ordinarily, a draw away to Fulham, not an awful result. But when United go there, have the intentions that they had, in the 83rd minute or so, still sat there with 5 at the back, we should be trying to win these games, but it didn't feel like United really wanted to on that day. And now I don't know how much of a say Amorim has in the transfer window. The United splurging all of their money on attackers was by far not the smartest move. I've spoken about that all summer long. But that being said, we knew Casemiro and Fernandes in that midfield pivot simply doesn't work. We saw that last season. So why do we stick with that this season now? How much more money have we got to spend under Amorim for his system to work? A lot of people clamber saying he hasn't got his players. Well, how many players does he need? How much money are we going to have to spend to get anywhere near a winning record under Amorim. All in all, my purpose of this video and my challenge to Amorim now is going to be, can you adapt? Can you learn from your mistakes in these previous 29 games? That's more than enough time to sort something out, but it does look as if very little has been done so far. That pre-season hasn't really counted for an awful lot, it seems, if we're going to go up against teams like Fulham and play like that. So what was the point of it? I had loads of people clambering last season saying he needs that pre-season. So why isn't very little been done? If he doesn't sort something out in the next few months now, the writing is simply on the wall. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. We just have to wait and hope now that Amorim can pull something out of the bag. Because if he doesn't, there's a very, very long few months ahead.